Okay. Number 18 says a rectangular plastic container must be 10 inches long and 4 inches wide. If it must have a volume of 200 cubic inches, how tall must it be? Okay, so volume for a three-dimensional rectangle is length times width times height. All right, so they're telling us that it is 10 inches long. So put 10 for the length. And 4 inches wide. I'll put 4 inches for the width. And then there says the volume is 200. And we want to calculate the height. So 200 equals 10 times 4 times h. And 10 times 4 is 40. So we have 200 equals 40h. So then we could just divide both sides by 40. So that would be 5 inches is equal to the height. All right, number 19 says the 14 members of the math club each paid the same dues. The club also earned $350 selling pies. They spent $697 to organize the math contest. Now their bank account, which started with $0, is overdrawn by $25. How much was the membership fee? Okay. All right, so they each paid their dues, or in other words, their fee. And that's what we're trying to find out. So I want to define my variable. X represents the membership fee or dues. Okay, that's paid by each of the members. So, and there's 14 members. So you started out with $0 and then you added 14 multiplied by whatever that fee is. So 14x. And then you added $350. And then you spent $697, so minus $697. And now that is equal to negative 25. So 14x plus 350 minus 697 equals negative 25. And then we're just going to solve for x. All right, so combine 350 minus 697. So I know that's a smaller number minus a larger number, so I know it's going to be negative. And to figure out the number, I'm just going to do 697 minus 350. So that equals 347, negative 347. So I bring the rest down. So I have 14x minus 347 equals negative 25. Okay. So next I'm going to add 347 to both sides. right? So that's basically the same thing as saying 347 minus 25, which would give me 322. So then I have 14x equals 322. So then I need to divide both sides by 14. So 14 would go into 32 two times. 2 times 14 is 28. 32 minus 28 is 4. Bring down the 2. And then 14 would go into 42. I think that would be 3 times. 3 times 14 would be 42. All right, so that gives me x equals 23. So $23 was the fee that each member of the math club had to pay. I'm sure you guys would all love to pay $23 to be in the math club, right? All right. Next, we're going to move on to section 3.4. All right, so this is more word problems. These are applications with 2 unknowns. Okay. So number 1 says a rectangular athletic field is twice as long as it is wide. If the perimeter of the athletic field is 270 yards, what are its dimensions? So 2 unknowns. So they're looking for 2 different answers. Okay, so here's your rectangle, and the length is equal to, it's twice as long as it is wide. So that means the length is equal to 2 times the width. All right, and the formula for perimeter is P equals 2L plus 2W. All right, because that's just adding up all the sides, right? You could say L plus W plus W. That's the same thing. All right, so they told us that the perimeter is 270, so we're going to plug that in for P. So 270 equals, all right, and so in order to solve this equation, we need to only have like one variable in it. And so in this case, that variable is going to be W. So we know that L is equal to 2W, so we're going to plug in 2W in place of L. So it's going to be 2 times 2W. And then bring down the plus 2W. And then 2 times 2W would be 4W. And then I'm just going to bring everything else down. So 270 equals 4W plus 2W. And then we can combine the like terms. 4W plus 2W equals 6W. So 270 equals 6W. And then we can just divide both sides by 6. So 6 would go into 27 4 times. 4 times 6 is 24. 27 minus 24 is 3. Bring down the 0. And then 6 would go into 30 exactly 5 times. And so 45 yards is equal to the width. All right, but they did ask for the dimensions, which means they want you to answer both the length and the width. And we know that the length is 2 times the width. So that means it's 2 times 45, which is 90. So the length is 90 yards. All right. Number 2 says, Samantha has 30 coins consisting of quarters and dimes, which total $5.70. How many of each type of coin does she have? Okay. So I will start out with defining D is equal to the number of dimes that she has. Okay, so like I said, in order to solve an equation, you can only have one variable. So I want to try to write down an expression for the number of quarters using just the variable of D instead of making a new variable. All right, so I'm gonna, like I said, what I'm gonna try to do is I want to write down an expression that represents the number of quarters, but instead of making a new variable of Q or something, I want to still use the variable of D. So let me just say, for example, what if I told you that she had 10 dimes? How many quarters would she have? She has a total of 30 coins. So if I told you that 10 of them are dimes, how many of them are quarters? 20. And how did you come up with 20? 30 minus 10. So what you did is you took 30 minus the number of dimes to give you the number of quarters. So we could just write that down, 30 minus D equals the number of quarters. All right, so then we can use the actual like amount, like of money. So we know that dimes are worth 10 cents each. So I'm just going to write 0.10 times D, which is the number of dimes. And we know quarters are 25 cents each. So I'm going to write 0.25 times the number of quarters, which is 30 minus D. And that's going to equal to $5.70. So now I can solve this equation. So I'm going to distribute 25 cents. So 25 cents times 30 is going to equal $7.50 minus 0.25D. And then I'm just going to bring the rest down. So I have 0.10D plus 750 minus 0.25D equals 570. Okay, and then I could combine like terms. So 0.10 minus 0.25 would equal negative 0.15D. And I just bring down 750. So 750 minus 0.15D equals 570. And then I need to subtract 750 from both sides. negative 0.15D equals negative, so it would be, I need to subtract really 750 minus 570. So $1.80. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, $1.80. Okay. And then I would divide by negative 0.15. It's going to be positive. That would be 12. So D is equal to 12. So that means there's 12 dimes. And then to get the number of quarters, just do 30 minus 12 equals 18. All right, so she has 12 dimes and 18 quarters. All right. Number 3 says a photograph measures 10 inches by 12 inches and put it in a frame that added 2 inches on each side. Find the outer perimeter and total area of the photo and frame. All right. So let's say that's the photo. There you go. And here's a frame around it. Never claimed to be an artist, but okay. So the photo itself is 10 by 12. So that's 10, that's 12. Okay, so it added 2 inches. So basically like it's 2 inches thick of frame all around. So, so like from here to there is 2 inches, and from there to there is 2 inches. So what is the width of the whole picture frame? So what is that distance there across the bottom? Well, close. So you've got the 10, and then you added 2 inches over here, but then you also added 2 inches over there. So 14. So then the height of the frame is What? 16. Yep. All right. Okay, and then they just want us to find the outer perimeter and the area. Okay. So perimeter is 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. And those are interchangeable. It doesn't matter which is which. One of them is 14 and one of them is 16. Okay, so 2 times 14 is 28, 2 times 16 is 32, and then 28 plus 32 is 60. So 60 inches is the perimeter. And then for the area is length times width. So in this case, that's going to be 14 times 16. So the area equals 224 square inches. All right. Number 4 says, your boss asked you to buy sodas for an office party. She wants you to get a total of 15 2-liter sodas, some Dr. Pepper, some Coke, and some Diet Coke. You decide to get equal amounts of Coke and Dr. Pepper. 2-liter bottles of Coke and Diet Coke cost $1 per bottle, and Dr. Pepper is on sale for 80 cents per bottle. If you spent a total of $13.80 on sodas, how many of each type did you buy? Okay, so 3 different unknowns in this case, actually, I guess. So let's just say that, let's see, let's say X equals number of Cokes. All right, and then we also want to write down an expression for number of Dr. Peppers and number of Diet Cokes. All right. Okay. So using the same variable of X, what would represent the number of Dr. Peppers? So if we read the problem again, it says you decide to get equal amounts of Coke and Dr. Pepper. So what could I write here to represent number of Dr. Peppers? Just X. Because it's the same. All right. And then I want to write down another expression to represent the number of Diet Cokes. So let's just say, for example, that I know that I got 2 Cokes. And so that means I also got 2 Dr. Peppers. So if that was the case, then how many Diet Cokes did I get? Well, I got a total of 15 sodas. So if I got 2 Cokes and 2 Dr. Peppers, how many Diet Cokes did I get? 11. And we figured that out by saying 15 minus 2x, basically. All right, so once we have that, then we can use the dollar amounts to write down an equation. Okay, so Cokes are $1. So that would be 1x. We could just say x, but I'm just going to go ahead and say 1x. And then Dr. Pepper is 80 cents. So that would be plus 80 cents times x. And then Diet Cokes are also $1. So that would be just plus 15 minus 2x. And the total is $13.80. So that equals $13.80. Okay, so we can combine like terms. So 1x plus 80 cents x, that would be $1.80 x. Oh, and I guess I might as well go ahead and combine this like terms as well. So minus 2. So $1.80 minus $2 would be negative 20 cents x. And then I still have the plus 15 equals $13.80. And then I can just subtract 15 from both sides. So $13.80 minus 15, that's going to be negative 120. So negative 20 cents x equals negative 120. And then I'm going to divide both sides by negative 20 cents. So I know that's going to be positive. So how many times does 20 cents go into $1.20? That would be 6. So x is equal to 6. So that means you have gotten 6 Cokes and 6 Dr. Peppers. And how many Diet Cokes? Yep. Yep. Because you can do 15 minus 2 times 6. So 15 minus 12 is 3 Diet Cokes. Okay. So that is the end of 3.4. I have brought copies of test review for you. For those of you who are not physically here right now, you can go onto Canvas and click on modules, and to eventually go in here. So if you go to test reviews and you want to print that out, like I said, if you don't, I have the copies here, but if you can't get one from me right now, you can print it out. And then the answer key is also there. So for those of y'all that are watching on Zoom, you can print it out. Or if you are here somewhere on campus or you want to on campus, you can just come see me and I'll give you one. You already have one? Okay. So we're going to take the test on, people are going to take the test on Thursday in this classroom. Okay. So, and the test is going to be similar in format and everything to this review that I'm giving you. So I recommend that you work on this review and then go, once you're pretty much done with it, then go on, or if you get, if you get really stuck or whatever, it's up to you, but you can go on there and then look up the answer key. Okay. Any questions about anything? Guess what? Today I did put due dates onto all of your homework assignments. Hopefully y'all have been keeping up with them like responsible adults, but if not, you're gonna have a lot of homework to do within the next 5 days because a whole bunch of homeworks are due on Tuesday. You should have already done most of them, but who knows? I don't know if you did or not. So, all right. So make sure, hopefully everybody's logged into My Labs Plus and been working on your homework. And if not, we need to figure it out. All right. All right. I'll see you guys next week for the test. Let me know if you need anything. Email me, text me, whatever.